Hello everyone, let's start with a new topic today, prepositions. I'm sure you must have done it in your previous classes as well. It is one of the most important topics for you. Let's begin. Let's start with a definition. It says here, a preposition is a word placed before a noun or a pronoun to show the relationship between the person or the thing denoted by it or something else. For example, we saw a horse on the road. Now let's see preposition of time. See, the prepositions that are used basically for time are at, in, on. Now at is used for a precise time. In is used for months, years, centuries and long periods. On is used for days and dates. Now look at these examples. I have a meeting at 9 a.m. The shop closes at midnight. Jane went home at lunchtime. In England, it often snows in December. Do you think we'll go to Jupiter in the future? There should be a lot of progress in the next century. Do you work on Mondays? Her birthday is on 20th November. Where will you be on New Year's Day? Now see, here are some expressions that you should know, and I've written the examples right in front of it so it would be easier for you to understand. See the first expression, it says at night. The stars shine at night. At the weekend. I usually don't work at the weekend. At Christmas or maybe Easter. I stay with my family at Christmas. At the same time. We finished the test at the same time. At present. He's not home at present. Try later. Now, after at, we have in and on. In the morning, in the mornings, in the afternoons, in the evenings. On Tuesday morning, on Saturday mornings, on Sunday afternoons, on Monday evenings. Now it depends. You'll have to make sure we use in if we are talking about only the mornings. But the moment we specify day, we use on Tuesday mornings. Now one thing very important that you should know or you need to remember is when we say last, next, every, this we do not use at, in, on. For example, I went to London last June, not in last June. He's coming back next Tuesday, not on next Tuesday. I go home every Easter, not at every Easter. We'll call you this evening, not in this evening. So please do remember this rule, it is important. Now comes preposition of place, at, in, on. Same prepositions we can use for time and same we can use for place as well. Now let's see. In general, we use at for a point, in for an enclosed space, on for a surface. So please do remember this. Now let's look at these examples. Jane is waiting for you at the bus stop. The shop is at the end of the street. When will you arrive at the office? Do you work in an office? I have a meeting in New York. Do you live in Japan? The author's name is on the cover of the book. There are no prices on this menu. You're standing on my foot. There was a no smoking sign on the wall. Now here I have another table for you. We have at, in and on. Let's see, it is again preposition of place. At home, at work, at school, at university, at college, at the top, at the bottom, at the side, at reception. Now let's move to the second one. In a car, in a taxi, in a helicopter, in a boat, in a lift or elevator, in the newspaper, in the sky, in a row, in Oxford Street. See the last one. On a bus, on a train, on a plane, on a ship, on a bicycle, on a motorbike, on a horse, on an elephant, on the radio, on television, on the left, on the right, on the way. Now, one very important thing that you need to remember is for. For defines a period of time in the past, present or future. For describes a duration. For means from the start of the period to the end of the period. And the last, we use for with all the tenses. Now let's see some examples. He has been living in London for several months. Jane has worked here for 10 years. We will visit Spain for 2 weeks. Mark lived in London for 6 months. He reads for 2 hours every day. Now let's start with since. Since defines a point of time in the past. Since means from a point in the past until now. Since gives the starting point. It defines when things are started. We usually use since with the perfect tenses. Let's go through some examples here. He has been watching TV since 7 p.m. Mark had been writing a book since 2010. My parents have lived in London since 1996. She had been asleep since the day before. That's the end of the topic. I want you all to revise it nicely. Thank you very much.